Yeah, man. I just feel like Kyrie exists to be chaos, honestly, to be a contrarian and all of that. So, I mean, I get it. If you're tired of a Kyrie and you got another completely unknown and Ben Simmons who looks great at the games all the time, he's always up in the latest fashion. But when it comes to playing basketball, I mean, you never really know what you're gonna get from him. So, yeah, if he want to go, I totally understand. I mean, what about y'all? Y'all think he doing too much? He should stay, or you think that he should leave?
Who?
Yeah,
Kyrie?
KD.
I think he should leave. I don't think he's leaving. I don't think they want to trade him. Like I don't know if you saw. I mean, they made a big deal on all the sports shows that they came out with their like pregame poster or whatever it was, and Kyrie wasn't on it, but KD was. Or preseason, not preseason tickets or whatever. And KD was on it, and Kyrie wasn't. So I don't think they're going to be successful together. I think one of them has to go. And I think probably the better option is Kyrie, because if you can get someone good for Kyrie, if Ben Simmons ever stops doing whatever he's doing,
nothing,
then they have a chance. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Brooklyn. I don't know how I feel about Steve Nash.
I don't want to cut you off, Ryan, and I don't want to stop you, Chance. But Ryan just gave me a good question for you guys, unintentional. So if you look at the timeline of the KD Kyrie drama, Kyrie is unable to come to terms with either a trade or an extension with the Nets, so he opts back in. And the very next day, KD opts to be traded. Now that's been spun as KD's upset with the Nets for how they handled Kyrie and didn't get him a contract because they're not serious. Maybe is it possible that KD asked to be traded because they ended up keeping Kyrie and not trading?
That's why I thought that he wanted to trade it. I don't think he wants to play Kyrie. I think he's done with him.
Think so?
They're allegedly supposed to be still good friends.
Allegedly, but it's a lot that's allegedly.
Me personally, I think, man, that shit. They had so much expectation going into that last season. So many expectations. Like everybody, bro. Once that dude decided that he was not going to get the vaccination, I knew something was wrong then. Like, even though, like I said, he got a right to do whatever he wants. Bro, when you are part of a team, like I grew up, I played football, I played a little bit of basketball, but when you're a part of a team, bro, you make sacrifices. You do shit that you probably wouldn't normally do, but you do it for the better of the team because you got to look at these guys and you're accountable. Like, you know, the guy next to me, I don't want to let him down. So, me personally, when he decided to do that, I knew something was wrong. Like, bro, you get paid all this money. Like, you got an opportunity to win a ring. Like, I know he got one with LeBron, but like this opportunity, bro, is like for a chance of greatness. Like, they could have probably won 70 games. You know, it's like, it could have been so many good things, and you sacrificed that shit to what? What did you prove?
Don't forget Harden was there too.
After it's all said and done, and we look back at the whole situation, what did he prove? That he's all about himself. Yeah, him not getting the vaccination didn't change anything. That shit, it came and went. It's coming back. You know, it's gonna be here. But a fucking shot, bro. This is a shot, like the shot in the arm versus a shot for a title. Like, you really just put that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a good point. And I think that James Harden was like, man, fuck it. Excuse me, I don't know if we cussed on this, but
are you good, man?
I think James Harden was like, you know what? Hey, this dude on some other, you know, let me go ahead and get out of here while I got a shot. And he went to a team that was better at the time. You know what I'm saying? But if that dude don't change his mentality, no, nobody's gonna want him. He's not gonna have no type of trade value because you don't know what to expect. You don't know what you're gonna get from him. The dude could go off one day and decide, hey man, I want to take a week off or anything. He's just he's shown it. You know, even you thought that after that shit with LeBron that, you know, he grew something. You know, even that's the situation with the Celtics. Look where they ended up at. Like, the dude is like poison, bro. He's like poison. So unless something happens real soon that he shows different, he lost his Nike contract. Like, everything that's going on with Kyrie, bro, is like anything he touched turned to shit. So hopefully, like I said, I don't necessarily want to see him go back to the Lakers because I don't want to see LeBron get another ring. But at the end of the day, I just don't get, like I said, man, that guy is, if they can come together just for this 1 year, put all the bullshit aside, show his value, show the team value, maybe you keep him. Maybe it's something, or like I said, maybe they can get something as far as trade value back because they're going to lose him because he's going to be a unrestricted free agent. So I don't know, man. I just think Kyrie, bro, he got a bad rep right now, and if he don't turn that shit around, it's gonna carry on with him for the rest of his career.
Let me just say this before Ryan goes. I think I'm gonna start a petition for Brooklyn to change their name from the Nets to the Brooklyn Next Years, because it's always next year. It's always, well, maybe they can do it next time. No, maybe it just never happens. Go ahead, Ryan. Brooklyn Next Years.
I know there's been trade rumors of like it's been offered. I'm pretty sure a Kyrie for Westbrook trade. Sorry, Westbrook trade.
Don't do that, man. You don't like that.
Who I know it's not gonna be even, right? They're not just gonna trade one player for one player. My question to you guys is, if that trade goes through with not a lot of other big pieces, right? Maybe a couple picks, who wins in that situation? Is it LA having to deal with all these issues with Kyrie? Is LeBron enough of a father figure? I don't know if you've ever seen that interview with
That was so wild. That was so wild. That father figure interview. He was like, father. Hey,
I have one father. His name's Irving, whatever.
Irving.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny about it? He heard the reporter say it, and then he was like, "What you mean?" And the reporter was like, "Oh, that's not what I meant." And then the reporter asked the question again, and he still called him a father figure. I was like, "What?" that was so
yeah. Wild. But who do you think wins that trade?
I actually, you know what? I think LA wins that trade. Honestly, I think Kyrie is untradeable except to LA. I think there's no other team that wants him. But I think LA wins because even if Kyrie says, you know what, I need half the season off because I just need to half the season off. The Lakers win because they don't have Westbrook. Honestly. Anything that gets rid of Westbrook, they traded him for a ham sandwich and a broken copier, then they still won. They still win the trade. So, and I don't think Westbrook is as bad as everybody thinks, although I do have videos that make it sound like it. Yeah, I think I just don't think that he's built to be a winner. He's built to be a showstopper. So if you get him on a team where there's nobody else, then great. But if you put expectations on him, then you'll be sorely mistaken. And those are my thoughts, Chance. What you
got? I think the winners will be both the players, man, because they both get a fresh start, and they get to try to, reiterate or try to, give themselves value, because both of them right now are pretty fucked up, are pretty messed up. I think that Kyrie is probably the better player out the two as of right now. So in that sense, the Lakers will win. But you can't give up on Brody neither, man. Like, he does still. I mean, like, he play hard, man. That's all I can tell you. He play hard. He might not be efficient and effective at some point. Sometimes he get his blooper reel going like JaVale McGee, but
listen, if I had an NBA contract, I would play hard as can be. It doesn't mean I'm gonna be effective.
Thank you.
Actually,
I haven't seen my video.
Chance hasn't. You know what I mean? I understand Westbrook does play hard. He used to be the most athletic point guard in the league.
Yeah.
But I mean, times have changed. I don't know. I hope that they trade Kyrie for Westbrook because I think that's the only shot that LeBron may have to win a championship.
That's a key point. The times have changed. If he can't spot up shoot and he doesn't have to be so ball dominant, Westbrook could probably be some help. But other than that, bro, he got to have the ball. He's going 100 miles a minute, blasting down the court. Like, you need to be able to set up, spot up. His game has to change because he's not as athletic as he used to be. So,
no.
Russell Westbrook is the best NBA player to have not figured out how to play basketball.
He has the ball, bro. He hasn't added no jump shot. He hasn't added no, he's just the same guy. And once you start losing that athleticism,
Yeah.
what are you gonna rely on?
Yeah, it's over quick. I mean, yeah, I playing hard means nothing if you don't know how to play. So I just got done saying Westbrook is as bad as everybody thinks he is. He does have value in the league. It's just not with half the league. Like all the bottom teams that are in need of contract space next year and have nothing to sell to their fans. So like, I wasn't say the Magic, but they got Paolo now. So like, I don't know, Charlotte. They were thought to be trading for Westbrook. They got LaMelo, but they might also get beat by 50 in the playing game that they did last year. You get what I mean? It's like or Indiana, another team that were rumored to trade for Westbrook. Teams like that with nothing to play for, nothing to lose, then sure. But if you Miami, Milwaukee, LA, Dallas, all the top teams in the NBA, he has zero value. So, yeah, I think the Lakers win. I think the Nets lose, but they continue to lose. So they'll get picks for him. So I guess that's a win in a way. But yeah, I don't know. I would do whatever I could to get rid of Russell Westbrook, honestly. But that's not the only issue with the Nets is trading Kyrie. What exactly does Steve Nash do? Like as a coach, he don't draw plays. They do that. He don't take the players out. They do that. He don't run the practices because it's reported that Kyrie does that. So you didn't read that report?
Nah, I don't know anything about the Nets organization or Steve Nash as a coach. I have not paid any attention, so that's all news to me.
Yeah. So apparently, it's wild. Apparently, so you heard the reports in Cleveland about Kyrie going months without talking to people. He's doing that in Brooklyn. However, he's taken to the next level, bro. Like, apparently after Steve Nash holds practices, Kyrie, during them, he comes late, leaves early, leaves whenever he wants to during the practice. And he'll come back and hold his own practice after the coach's practice. Now, normally that would be good, but this Kyrie we're talking about. And reportedly, all of his practices run counter to what Steve Nash is doing. So
that's just a recipe for disaster.
And you see what's happening. So what does Steve Nash do as a coach? Do you think he's any good actually, or is it just he being ruined by the Nets?
I don't know because if the players aren't buying into what you're trying to establish as a coach, no team is going to be successful.
Yeah.
Right. So either the players have to buy into what you're doing, or you have to change your plans as a coach to something that's going to fit what the players are willing to do, which I don't think that's the best option. I think players should respect the coaches and buy into what they're doing, but maybe with someone like Kyrie, that won't happen. Maybe he needs his father on the team, LeBron.
I think once you lose the locker room, man, you can't recover from that.
Did he ever have a locker room?
No,
From day one, Kyrie said you want me to coach.
You're right, but if the owner and the GM don't recognize that, then that's more messed up. If they can't anybody, it's so like you can't not see it once it's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like once you see that the coach has no
power, no nothing.
Yeah, it's over. You can't. Yeah. And if the team don't see that, hey, shame on them.
It's just like realizing one day that your parents can't stop it. It's like, it's like what? I can do whatever it is. Fuck it. I'm out here. It's the exact same thing, man. I don't know if Steve Nash is a good coach. My gut tells me no. I was watching the show the other day, and somebody made a good point. They said, "What if Steve Nash is on a Jason Kidd arc? Starts off terrible in Brooklyn, Jason Kidd, gets with another superstar, gets fired, goes to another superstar, Jason Kidd with the Giannis, does okay but not great. Is he a good coach there? Probably not. Leaves again, another superstar, that team has great success because he's been able to get his feet wet and do other things.
Right.
Jason Kidd. Could Steve Nash have a similar arc? You think?
Jason Kidd, was he part of that team? Who was the coach when they had Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, KG?
It was Kidd at the end, but
okay.
I'm not sure if Kidd was the first coach they had or if he was just there at the end. I'm not totally sure. They had that team for 2 years, so I want to say Kidd was there the whole time. Don't quote me.
It's the only time, it's not too many coaches start off that like my man from the Celtics, that much.
Brad Stevens.
No, the guy from this year.
Oh, Udoka. You made Udoka.
Yeah, his first year he went to the finals.
Straight to it.
Well, that's a little different though because it's not like most of the time that teams get new coaches are not when they're already being successful, right? It's when they change. And the Celtics were already super successful under Brad Stevens. They just put Brad Stevens at a higher role, right? Jaylen Brown. And I can't, what's his name? Ime Udoka or whatever.
Yeah.
His name. I can't remember how to pronounce it. But he slid in.
Burn black names, Ryan.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He fit nicely into their system. So he was kind of handed a good situation where a lot of new coaches are not.
True.
So
he had that Dean Long sent on him.
Udoka should have been in Detroit, man. Before they hired Casey, they interviewed Udoka, and I was saying it then that they should have hired. So
I understand. Like I'm still trying to get a grasp of Casey, man. Like I understand he was coach of the year, but bro, he just seemed like he was too laid back.
I kind of like it actually.
We'll see.
I'm gonna give him time. Daly.
So what, Ryan?
I agree.
But I'll give him some time.
How many more years you give him?
I'll give him 3.
3?
That's enough time for our young core to have developed enough to do something meaningful.
Because he pretty much inherited a bad team, so he has
exactly. Yeah. So
thanks, Stan. I like Van Gundy, but
I like him as a person. I didn't like him as a coach. I didn't think he did great.
Agreed. Yeah. What does Ben Simmons do exactly?
Waste money.
Man.
So
he getting that paper.
Man, you getting that, man. Talk about it, bro. You got clothes for days. So Ben Simmons is not only an issue because he's not playing, he's making a ton of money to do it, but it's a weird rule in the NBA. I don't know if you guys have seen it, that when you have one player on a max rookie extension, you can't trade for other players that are on those extensions and have Ben Simmons there. So if they want to trade
Ayton,
exactly, they can't.
Donovan Mitchell,
exactly. So they can't trade for a Devin Booker. They're not allowed to unless Ben Simmons is traded first. So if they want to trade KD or Kyrie, they can't get Donovan Mitchell. They can't get Devin Booker. I don't think they can get Cat, but they can't get any of the good players they would want.
Can't have 2 of them on the same team.
Exactly. So not only is he not only is he there tanking their team value, but he's tanking everybody's trade value at the same time. So he's like a double anchor. So this is the thing, right? If I'm Brooklyn, I don't have anything invested in Ben Simmons really, except for a James Harden trade who was going to leave anyway. I got nothing invested in him. I didn't really invest any time into him besides maybe, I don't know, somebody to rub his back and somebody to talk to him every now and then. Do I just trade Ben Simmons for a chicken sandwich and look at trading the guys who want to be gone? Or do I keep him and try to, I don't know, force KD to stay, force Kyrie to stay, and see what that is on my Brooklyn next year's team? Or what are y'all thinking about Ben Simmons, man? I know Ryan's depressed after what he just heard.
What's the rule on just
firing a guy?
Yeah. What's the rule? I'm serious. What amount of time can you not play in a single game and still be able to collect a paycheck? I don't understand it. What kind of I don't know all the rules stuff.
Chris Bosh. They kind of fired him.
But he had he had some medical conditions.
Yeah,
right. I don't think Ben Simmons has any real medical issues.
He had back surgery, man. Come on, man. Bad back.
Did he?
He's been carrying teams, man, this whole time. All it. Carrying.
Back hurts because he's sitting on the sidelines on the bench with his hands on his knees, bent over the whole time, watching the game, wearing his chains, weighing him down, hurting his back. Right? I don't like that sense. Right? I don't like him. I think he was overhyped in college.
Yeah, he was overhyped in college.
He did nothing at. I mean, he was okay at.
He was
Philly
pretty
when
good.
he first started playing. Yeah, he was. Except he wasn't in clutch moments. He's just not that guy. Right? You're gonna pass a layup against with Goran Dragic.
No, it was even worse. It was Trey Young.
Trey Young, yeah, that's who it was, right? Trey Young. I don't know. I don't like Ben Simmons. I don't think he's mentally tough. I mean, he has the NBA player bill. He has everything to be a star in the league, right? But I don't think he has the mental.
Yeah, I don't think he has the drive or
toughness. Yeah, exactly. So I think if they can get rid of him, however they can, they do it.
Chance?
I don't know what to do with Ben Simmons, man. To be honest, like he had a year to sit out. I don't know if you just got to get the right person around him, man. He needs to get back motivated or something like. Cause
who is the right person?
Who is? Because
maybe LeBron could be his dad. Just still can't Jenner. Nah, she with DB right now.
He needs
no, not anymore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they broke up again for the 8th time.
Because he didn't win a championship, so she's moving on to the next one. She wants to be a winner.
Yeah.
He needs some type of Ray. He need that Ray Lewis motivation, man. He needs something to get his ass going.
Lewis. Yeah.
He was motivated to do a lot of shit that wasn't legal.
Bro, like he has no like I said, man. When you want something, if the opportunity is there, you gotta you know what I'm saying? Like, where is your heart, bro? Like, money. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your heart? Like, what? Money. It's like he just a shell, man. Like no, they had so much potential, bro. Like the opportunity, like once he looks back on his career and see what the possibilities, even that shit with Embiid, like he just quit on them.
Yeah.
Like basically, I'm not fucking with y'all no more. He got hurt over some words. You know what I'm saying? Like it really didn't
and it was true. It was true words.
That's the world we live in now, though. It's acceptable to get hurt over words. Sorry.
That's very true. Go ahead. And to get some league awards.
I just think that until he proves something, man, like I agree with Ryan. Like he shouldn't be allowed to just take teams' money like that. That shit ain't right, man. Somebody else out there would love to be in this position and make the money that he makes, and he's just making a mockery of it.
Yeah. Smiling while he do so and looking good by doing it.
And don't nobody. And then he's losing. Like people don't believe that he's really is he really having these mental problems? Is he really going through this? Like he's losing all his credibility. So
yeah, if I'm Brooklyn, like I said before, I stated in the question, I don't have anything tied to Ben Simmons besides the money that I've already paid. So if I'm Brooklyn, I'm trading him. And I'm doing it yesterday. I'm trading him. I didn't pick him in the draft. You know, the fans ain't never seen him play, so they're not gonna really care. I'm trading him, particularly if KD really wants to be gone. If he really wants to go, and if Brooklyn they haven't had a backbone this whole time, so I don't assume they will now and say, no, you stand. I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to trade him like you won't. So yeah, I'm trading Ben Simmons, I'm trading Kyrie, I'm trading KD, and I'm getting as much back from everybody as I can. It's a free for all. Give me what you got. Who got the best? Even if I trade KD and Kyrie first, I'm still trading Ben Simmons. I'm trading to the worst team with the best offer, and goodbye. Yeah, that's what I'm doing if I'm Brooklyn. I'm blowing the whole thing up. They got a bad culture. They got a bad coach. I'm firing the coach. I'm probably firing the GM. If I'm an owner, I'm thinking about firing myself. They've done everything the worst way you can do it. They gave a team to two players. One doesn't want to be a leader in KD, doesn't want anything to do with it. And Kyrie wants to be a leader, but he's the worst in the world at it. And it's just awful. And everybody, and it's not just Brooklyn. There was empirical evidence in Cleveland and in Boston that he's bad at this. So no sympathy for Brooklyn for me. The Brooklyn next year's, but if I'm the next year's, then ain't no more next year. I'm
Yeah.
Started from scratch again. So maybe that's scorched earth. Maybe that's my rant. I don't know. But that's what I'm doing.
Cut
Speaking
your
of,
losses.
you said what?
Cut your losses, man.
Cut your losses, man. Just cut them on. Get rid of them. You got a rant for us, Chance?
So nah, man. Just
No
hey.
Chance's corner.
I come back to me.
I got one.
Okay.
I give you mine. I give you mine while you think on yours or whatever. So originally I had something different, but I was working with Jabari the other day. Shout out to Jabari. I guess he just gone forever for the pod. But I was working with him, and I saw an article about what's his name? Andre Iguodala. He said that if Rasheed Wallace had played now, he would be better than Giannis, right? And I said, and I brought it up to Jabari because it was so nonsensical to me. Being from Detroit and being a huge fan of the Pistons, especially during that era, that's when I started watching basketball when he was winning. It was so crazy to me. I brought it to Jabari. I said, "Can you believe this?" And he said, "What?" I said, "You didn't just read it?" He said, "Yeah." He said, Rasheed. She said, Rasheed Wallace. And I'm sorry you didn't hear to defend himself. He said, Rasheed Wallace was KD, but without the softness.
No.
Just no, right? Rasheed Wallace was really good. Rasheed Wallace was really good, okay?
For that time.
For that time. But that's
good.
it. There is no, what is wrong with people? Why do we keep comparing? What you say, Chance?
I don't even see that comparison. Go ahead.
Not in their game, not in their mentality. There's no comparison
nothing.
between Rasheed Wallace and KD. The only time you should be saying Rasheed Wallace and Kevin Durant in the same sentence is when Rasheed Wallace is saying that Kevin Durant is better than he ever thought about being. That's the only time that there should be any like marriage of those two words, names, adjectives, whatever the hell, verbs, whatever. What's going on in the world where we just compare guys of now to yesteryear when there's I don't understand, man. I don't understand what's going on. People are so hell bent on just making it seem like the guys that play now just can't compete with what was and what is. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. There's no way that Rasheed Wallace is anywhere close to Kevin Durant or Giannis or LeBron or anybody in the top 50, 60, 70 in NBA history. I just don't see it.
He wasn't top 75, was he?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. He shouldn't have been.
He shouldn't have been.
I'll touch on that and it'll be short and sweet. Rasheed Wallace for his time was a different player, right? He was that 6'11", whatever it was, 6'10" guy who could knock down spot up threes. He wasn't getting threes off the dribble.
He was
right.
Not.
He was setting the pick and roll, popping out top of the key. That was his spot, and hitting threes. Right. That's what he did. He wasn't an elite defender like Giannis.
No.
He wasn't a great passer. He wasn't.
No.
He couldn't dribble.
No.
Couldn't score off the dribble. He was decent down low in his post game, right?
Shot 33% from the 3-point line this career.
Yeah, so that's
just great
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But to compare him to the best player in the world right now is just insanity.
He wasn't even dirty.
And that's all I have to say.
During his time.
Yeah.
Wasn't LaMarcus Aldridge during his time. Come on, man. We gotta stop it.
It doesn't. I'm just gonna say it's insanity, and that's it, because I don't think anybody who's ever watched the game of basketball is gonna agree with Andre Iguodala.
Thank you, Chance. Any words for this nonsense?
Yeah, I think Rasheed Wallace was a hell of a player. He was a difference maker when he came to the Pistons, put us over the top. But as far as a standalone great player, no, it's like like you said with Durant and Giannis. Nah, I mean, but like I said, dude had a hell of a presence on the court. He brought toughness to our team. I always love him, just for what he did for Detroit. But as far as the hierarchy of game, yeah, he did shoot, but he wasn't, like you said, he wasn't an off the dribble shooter. He just a spot up A lot of times I feel like he should have went down in the post a little bit more, but overall, man, no, that's no comparison.
Yeah, no comparison at all, man. So back to the regular schedule program, man. The Phoenix Suns seem to be having like a mini meltdown, similar to what happened against Boston. Didn't want to re-sign Ayton. Didn't really seem to get too active in the free agency market. Didn't really do a lot during the draft. Kind of went stagnant. They really just got a little older. There was some talk about KD wanting to be traded to the Suns. He had the Heat and the Suns as his, main teams.
Both number one seeds.
Both number one seeds. So to do that, do what you want with that.
KD.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I actually think the Warriors trade for KD, to be honest. They're the only ones with the requisite pieces. They got all the young players and all the picks that Brooklyn could ever want. But
I don't think they do it.
So what?
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either. But they should. I would. I'll be on the phone with them right now if I was the Warriors. But
I would. I feel like they got too much invested in their talent, man. They got so many players over there. Like they summer league team look like a little baby NBA team. So
they do. They do.
No way do you build all of it that you had. You don't just give it up for one guy, man.
That's true. All right. So Ryan, do you have the Ayton contract up?
No, I can. He was like what, one?
It was like 118 or something. So I'm
133.
not sure. Would you say, Chance?
I thought it was 133.
Yeah, it's so okay. So
133 4-year.
The way the Ayton thing breaks down, the Suns could have signed him for a 5-year max, but they didn't want to do that, which makes sense to me because Ayton, he's really good, but I don't think he's a max player, and he's had issues with Monty Williams, who was one of the better coaches in the league. So.